Pokemon Champions, the home of VGC, is officially coming out sometime next month. We still don't know a release date, which is absolutely crazy. But today we're not talking about release dates. We're talking about Pokemon. Pokemon I don't want to see in Pokemon Champions. Now, in most Pokemon games, people are more worried about what Pokemon's going to be in the game. Whether it's going to be their favorite Pokemon like this rat, or this rat. No, that's not what I'm worried about today. I'm more worried about what's going to be in the game and possibly destroy the competitive scene. So today, I'm going to be telling you the top 5 Pokemon I pray to God are not in Pokemon Champions, or at least at the start of the game. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy GTheDon, and I'm coming at y'all with a little bit of a different video today, but it's okay. We're still going to be talking about competitive Pokemon, and if you enjoy competitive Pokemon, go down there, hit a subscribe. It'll be much appreciated. But I'm not going to lie, Pokemon that I do not want to see in Champions, there's a lot of them, but today, top 5 is going to be starting off with number 5, Indeedee Female. And I know you might be thinking right now, gee, Indeedee Female is not even that good. But low-key it is. Coming into Generation 9, it wasn't that good, but when it released, there was a bug that gave it the stupid move Trick Room, which, genuinely, it should not have. To this day, Trick Room has been the most, I don't know, I click Trick, I can't spell. It came with Trick Room. It's generally the most stupid thing that it got, especially since it has the ability, Psychic Surge, which means you can't fake out or use Priority Move when the Psychic terrain is up, which isn't too bad, but all this thing does is literally hit Follow Me and or Trick Room, instead of Trick Room to enable the most annoying strategies in this game. Thinking your things like Expanding Force with Iron Crown, or Hatterene in low power formats, or even with Armor Rouge in the other lower power formats. It's just kind of absurd that this little thing, with genuinely not the best stats, but honestly, most of the time people give it like a Psychic Seed to boost special defense, and then just max out defense and HP, which makes it kind of bulky. It's almost a guaranteed way to set up Trick Room. And if you know me personally, I absolutely hate Trick Room, so that's why this Pokemon is number 5 for me. It's not the most overpowered. It's just like a slightly annoying mon that I don't want to deal with, especially at release of Champions. Speaking of another Pokemon I don't want to deal with at the release of Champions, it is Ursaluna. Now, if you watched the last tournament video that I made, which I don't know which one came out last, but it was the one where I used a Stolen Team, I used this Ursaluna, and it is absolutely broken. All you have to do is give it the Flame Orb, somehow get it to switch in without getting the Flame Orb knocked off, or just sit there and protect, and this thing's damage gets sky high, which is stupid because look at the attacks that this thing has. This is without it being Adamant, it gets to 192. You have Adamant, boom, 211. This thing low-key, not even low-key, high-key one-shots things with like almost any move it has. Facade, too, is such a stupid move because it gets boosted attack. I can't read. There it is. It gets the attack gets doubled. Off of 70 base power, then you get Stab. It turns into like 140, and then you add Stab. I don't know the damage calcs like that. I'm not a math wizard. Used to be back in the day, not today. It's just dealing out so much damage, and you're like, okay, it's just single target, intimidate this thing down. Well, it's not that it's just single target. It can do things like Earthquake, which does a lot. It's just kind of crazy how much damage this thing can do. We've seen it in lower power formats and high power, like, in almost any format this thing is in, it's won a tournament. It's absolutely insane. It low-key just dominates every format that it's in. It won the World Championships. It didn't come out in that game, but if it's on a World Championship team, obviously it's good enough. It's just doing too much damage, and I'm praying low power formats when the game first releases, this thing is going to be pumping out too much damage. Nothing will be able to compete except for the Megas, and I think we should just let the Megas shine. We don't need a mon like this interfering with them, so I pray it's not coming in, but it's not the worst offender. Coming in at number 3, we do have one of the worst offenders that I pray is just, I know it's going to be in the game as a starter mon, but I just pray it's not in early format, late format, mid format. I low-key just don't want to see it at all. It's Rillaboom. Rillaboom has a stupid ability that's, I mean, it's not stupid. There's only one other Pokemon with this ability, and it's a legendary Pokemon. So I think Rillaboom even having this ability is kind of dumb. It takes away from her legendary, but it is what it is, I guess. It gets Grassy Surge, and it gets the move Grassy Glide, which is the most, wow, I can't spell for real. Grassy Glide, most annoying move. It's a priority move. You'd be thinking like, oh, only 55 power. It gets Stab boost, and then it gets Terrain boost off of a genuinely great attack stat. The defenses are kind of mid. Actually, I can't even say the mid. Physical defense is great, starting off at 90. Special defense is kind of mid-ish, but you just slap an Assault Vest. That's all everyone does with this thing. You just give it an Assault Vest, your special defense is crazy, your attack stat's crazy, your defenses are crazy. You can have every move you want. You can hit the most annoying Pokemon in the game with, well, I guess the most annoying Pokemon is Urshifu. You can deal with Urshifu great, you're a grass type. And the other most annoying Pokemon is probably Incineroar, and you just hit him with a high horsepower. Boom! You're dealing with all the great mons. In legendary formats, this guy is great. In non-legendary formats, this guy is great. If you watch a regional stream, he's going to be top 6 guaranteed in the most used mons. He's going to be sitting around 30%. He's absolutely broken, and I don't think he should be in the game. Early format. Speaking of another Pokemon that should not be in the game, Urshifu Rapid Strike. Urshifu Single Strike is kind of annoying too. I mean, they're together, so obviously both are going to have to go away. And like, with female and DD, I guess we forgot to talk about it. Male and DD's going to have to go. I love male and DD, but if he's got to go to get female and DD out of here. But Urshifu Rapid and Single Strike are very stupid mons. I believe they have the same stats, but just look at the attack stats on this thing. And it does damage through Protect, which is the most annoying part. And it's not like it's reduced damage. It does full 100% damage. And when you're taking moves like Surging Strikes, which is like, it hits 3 times, so it's really like 75, and it crits every time, guaranteed, confirmed, which I don't know who designed that. That it might be the dumbest thing ever. Crazy amounts of damage. Close combat also does crazy amounts of damage. I should have a video out where I'm using our Urshifu team in Rain, just to show you how stupid this thing is. I pray to God it is not in Champs. It just takes over every format. It's literally like the number 1 or 2 most used Pokemon in every format. It's just so good. With legendaries, it's not as oppressive, which is very nice. But with just anything that's not a legendary, this mon is very oppressive. And even with legendaries, it can be very annoying. Especially, like a fire type legendary is kind of pointless. There's not many, but yeah, it's better than some legendaries. Now, I know it's classified as a legendary, but I'm talking about like restricted Pokemon box legendaries. The fact that this stupid thing is better than them, it's great. Look at its stats. The only bad thing on it is a special defense. And when this thing is mostly using a Choice Scarf to move first, who cares? Its speed is boosted so high. It's just ripping damage into everything. And if it's not getting a kill, it's getting you low enough where someone can literally tap you over and get a kill. Now, when it comes to the number 1 Pokemon I do not want to see in Champions, it's everyone's least favorite cat. It's my least favorite cat. It's the Pokemon that I got bashed over for saying it might be mid coming into this game. It's Incineroar. I'm going to take the L. This thing was not mid. I'd never played in formats before Scarlet and Violet, so I just didn't know how good Incineroar was. And you're thinking, like, why is it so good? Its stats are, like, it's good bulk, I'm not going to lie. Its attack set's pretty high. It's just its ability, bro. Intimidate is a genuinely good ability. It's probably the best ability that's not, like, an ability that a legendary Pokemon has, or Urshifu, which is stupid. This thing's just so bulky with Intimidate. Its defense is, you don't even really invest in it at all, so you can go straight into its special defense and HP, which a lot of people do, give it some speed, and it gets a very broken move, which I didn't talk about with Rillaboom, Fake Out. Hits the opponent, stuns them, they're not moving that turn. It only works on the first turn, but like when you cycle between Rillaboom and Incineroar, Faking Out, and then this Mon also gets a stupid move, which Rillaboom also gets, called U-Turn. You're like, okay, it does some chip damage and then switches you out. It also gets a more broken version of that move, called Parting Shot. Doesn't do damage, but it lowers your attack and special attack on the way out. So like, if you got a physical attacker who just got intimidated with instant swapping in, you get Parting Shotted, you're already down 2 attack, you're annoyed. This thing is stupid. It also has a great attack move in Flare Blitz, which 120 base power coming off 115 attack. We don't really have to invest in it at all, and you're like, you're not one-shotting things, but you're pretty much two-shotting most things. It also gets another stupid move in Knockoff, which every Pokemon is carrying an item, hopefully. If you're not, I don't know what you're doing. But it deals 1.5 times damage to remove, and it removes the item if the Pokemon still has an item. Crazy. And it's not like this thing's just an all-out attacker slash kind of, I mean, it's not, that's not even its job. The most thing it does is support, so like Fake Out gives the other Pokemon space, Intimidate gives space. It also has a stupid move called Helping Hand for absolutely no reason. It just gives your your teammate the chance to do even greater damage. I think it's 1.5 times. Yeah, 1.5 times the damage you're normally going to do. Instant's not there to do damage itself. So if it's doing something like Helping Hand and Fake Outing, it's just giving your partner free room to do things it wants to do and deal insane amounts of damage. And this thing does damage by itself, which is so stupid. I hope it's not in Champions. Literally watch Pokemon live stream. It's the number 1 most used Mon. It's like on every team. It's not on every team, but I think it's like 60% of most teams. It's on in day 1 or day 2. This thing is stupid. I hope it is not in the formats. Please, God. Now, if you believe any of my takes are right or wrong, let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoy my content, check out one of the videos that YouTube is suggesting up next. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.